So, tell me about this dream you had last night.
I had a wild dream. I was telling Sherry about it this morning. It was one of those things that's so believable that you start acting it out physically. The dream took place up in Crivitz. And there was this unusual guy that was visiting us in a cabin up there. And I recognized him, but I didn't know what his name was. And he was pretty much like an old-time expert on everything. Like John Ularic would be when it wasn't John Ularic.
Yeah?
He had wild gray hair, not real long, sticking up all over, wrinkles on his face. And if you had seen him, you would have probably recognized him as some celebrity somewhere, but I couldn't remember who he was.
Uh-huh.
And he started asking me questions about, do you see a lot of deer up here and stuff like that? So I said, yes, you see quite a few deer, and it depends on what time of year it is and all that sort of thing. And I said, there's a lot of other animals up here, of course. We got raccoons and we got all kinds of things. He said, well, you got any bear up here? And I said, yeah, we got a lot of bear. But unbelievably, you don't get to see them very often. I've been living up here off and on for 50 years, and I have yet to see a bear in front of me more than 3 times in 50 years. So you can tell what kind of deal you got cooking. If you want to really see a bear, you can wait a hell of a long time to see one. So as the conversation went on, somebody opened the door and then didn't close it completely. I'm looking out the crack in the door, and off in the woods I saw a bear. At least I thought I did. And I started telling this guy, if you want to see a bear, don't question me now, just go right to this door and peek out the crack in the door and look towards that big pine over there. And there's a bear out there. He's quite a ways away, but he was coming this way. So the guy goes to the door and he's looking out there, and I went looking out there also. And as he kept coming closer, I didn't see him too clearly because there was a lot of brush, but when I could see him again, I couldn't tell where he was. Whatever it was very furry, and it looked like a blonde animal, like the bear that I have on the wall up there that was shot up in Saskatchewan with a bow by me. And as he came closer, I started getting kind of antsy because I didn't know what it was, and it turned out it was like a Yeti, like a half man, half bear. So it got me shook up a little bit, and I remember that David had talked about seeing this Yeti. Only I wasn't calling him a Yeti, I was calling him a Yooper. A Yooper, which is what they call the Upper Peninsula people. That was a mistake of mine, of course. But as the closer he came, the faster he was coming at me. And he got out 50 feet from me, and he was coming like a rocket. So I was sure he was going to just charge me and hit me. But when he got to me, he came to a screeching halt. And it was a very pleasant-looking bear. It wasn't a bear, it was a Yeti type thing that you read a lot about in the papers, and people believe they exist. And he was very friendly. He started smiling at me. He said, "You don't remember me, do you? Your nephew David been teaching me all sorts of things." So everybody is laughing. Here's this formidable looking wild animal that turns out to be a patsy type, very similar to a friendly little bear. And we were all scared to death. And the guy that had asked me about bears was in the bedroom already, locking the door. And then I tried to get a hold of David, and this animal came in the building, into the house, and sat down on the sofa next to me. But it was when the Yeti started charging like he was going really fast, coming right at me, that I got up and I started to ramble, afraid he was going to hit me real hard. When he got to me, he didn't make a move to bump into me even. He just did it very quietly. Everybody laughed. There were 2 or 3 other people there. I don't remember who they were. But everybody was drinking wine and beer, and I thought, well, maybe we just imagined all this stuff. But when your mother screamed at me, I was instantly aware of the fact that I was dreaming and that I was going to fall on my face if I didn't stop. So I stopped and woke up. Your mother started giving me the business because I was reminding me of what happened the last time I had a dream like that. I jumped up and tried to run or something, and I fell down and banged my head and got a lump. But this time it didn't hurt me at all. And it was an interesting experience for the people that happened to be there. Then I started thinking, well, it's obviously all everybody's imagination, because it really didn't happen. That's the story of the Yeti of Crivitz. That's about it, boss.